I mark up mine.
Just what you got is what's on.
Okay.
Godfrey, there was no package for me downstairs this week. I thought maybe you guys eliminated.
Where's that?
It's working itself out though. I don't, it must have done an
I
oversight.
got
I'm not
this.
sure.
I figured out this stuff. Right.
Was this for a Zoom meeting?
He's.
Oh, I was wondering
he's
where
one
that
of-
person
He's
was,
like
though.
Abrams on the old business. He's the first applicant.
Oh, but he's not in this room.
No.
Oh, okay, I wanted to make sure. I was like,
No.
where's this guy?
Yeah,
All right.
John, can you hear us? Okay, you're muted though, so when we get to your part of the application, just make sure you unmute yourself.
All right, now I'll mute myself.
Okay, very good.
This is cool.
Since he's appearing remotely, maybe you want to switch the order.
That's exactly what
You
you
want to make a motion to that effect? I should put him on the last.
Because he's most comfortable, right?
Yeah. Tell him to sit there all night. Listen to this bullshit.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. All right.
The mics are on. It's really yet. All right, is everybody's mic on up here? Gary?
Okay, we're on.
Maybe that second one?
All right, it looks like it's 7 PM on November 20th, 2025. I'd like to call the Inland Wetlands Watercourse Commission to order. First order of business is the roll call. Stephen Molinelli, Chair, present. Russ Davenport, Vice Chair.
Present.
Jeff Lippincott, Secretary.
Present.
Frank Oliveri.
Present.
Gary Paganelli. Present. Matt Clausen.
Present.
Jamie Colligan.
Present.
Mary Ann Marino.
Present.
And for publication, we still have one open vacancy on the board. Next order of business is under agenda review. Anybody? Jeff, anything?
I've got a few as of right determinations to add, but we'll discuss that when we get to that portion.
Okay. If those in the audience wouldn't mind, we have one application under old business. It's on Zoom, and I'd like to move that up before the public hearing, just get him off the air so I don't look at him sitting in his couch, resting, and his crawl, and everything else. Any other agenda reviews? All right,
Do you need a motion for that?
no.
Okay.
Nope. I'd like to welcome the new representative from the Board of Selectmen, the liaison, Bill. You want to introduce yourself?
Bill Hester, I'm the liaison for you guys. So, I'm not sure if I can make every meeting, but if I'm not here, I will be watching. So reach out if anybody has any questions, anything. I'm here to help you guys.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you
Thank
coming.
guys.
And is there, just for my information, is there some context to, because this is a new person that's come in, or is there some context to having a board of selectmen member here? Like
Well, they're always on the agenda,
but nobody really ever.
except they've been an endangered species.
Species. Okay,
So having said that,
all right. Okay, so it's an old thing that just hasn't
Yeah,
occurred,
yeah,
and now
yeah.
it's starting to occur with more regularity.
all right, next order of business, approval of minutes from the October meeting. Is
I'll
there
make a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay,
From the
there's-
October 16th.
any changes? Second?
No changes.
All those in favor of approval?
Aye.
It's unanimous, thank you. The next order of business, under old business, application 25-35, Jonathan Abrams, who's remotely present with us. Can you hear us?
I can.
Thank you very much. Okay, you want to talk to us about your project?
Yes, I don't know if Pat, my Mason has signed in.
No, he's not
You have
present.
Not here.
No.
He was gonna sign in, but, I guess at the last meeting, you were missing some pictures and drawings and elevation and what type of materials, so, I added that on. Paz is trying to sign in, so he's having difficulty, he just texted me.
Okay, well, we'll move ahead at this point. I didn't see anything in my package with new information.
Yeah.
You did?
This.
Oh, I got that, I got
Should
it,
have a couple of drawings.
I got it, I'm sorry. And I even put the
Even
address on it.
methods on the front, yeah.
Okay, I got it.
It is what we asked for.
All right, I think there's a lot of detail in what your contractor submitted. Anybody with any concerns about it?
No, I think he answered all our questions.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a couple of questions that involve your waterfront, but not directly with the stairs. In visiting your site, you have a dock that's basically a permanent structure. It's resting on a concrete pier out.
Yes, uh-huh,
And then you have removable dock apparatus off to the side of your property.
that's correct,
Where
yes.
does that go?
That extends on the permanent dock and goes out into the lake.
Is that permitted?
No, that's temporary, there's a permanent part of the structure, and then there's a part that we take out every,
The word I used was, I didn't use the word permanent, I used, was it permitted? Do you have permission to have that dock in the water, is what I'm asking?
there was a previous one there, and we replaced it with this one, the same size. The other one was, that was taken out the same way. it was just old and rusted.
All right, I think we're gonna move ahead with your specific application with your stairs. And I think you're cooperative enough with us that if that extension that you're talking about is not permitted, I'm gonna ask you to submit a permit for us and tell us where you're gonna put it, and talk to us about that in the future before it goes back in the water, unless it's already permitted.
I'll check
You know,
the
I thought,
file.
I can't answer that.
I know you can't, that's why I'm saying, I'm not gonna stand on ceremony and force the issue now, because with the deep drawdown, you wanna get your stairs done. You have all
Correct.
winter to remedy that dock situation, and when you're in town, meet with Jeff, see if you have a permit for it, and where it's supposed to be, and how far out it goes, okay?
Okay, all right,
All right?
yes.
Anybody with any other concerns? Do we have a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to, we gotta talk about a bond.
Go ahead.
You know, $500, it's a pretty easy job, $1,000.
Do we need any remediation material in front?
Yeah, silt fence is in the
Yeah.
methods and means.
Yeah,
Okay, so we're all good with that. And a $500 bond,
Yeah, I think that'd be enough.
okay?
And there is a bond up already that you have of mine.
Okay.
Can you tell me why it's there?
There was a, open permit for the previous work that was done.
You
Okay,
remember?
well,
He
if
had,
there's
he
a
had
person,
retaining
This
wall
came
work
on as
done.
a modification
Yeah.
at first, but.
well, no,
we
that,
didn't feel it
that,
was.
we negated that right away, so I don't think there was a bond post for that.
Back years ago when that came in, there was a bond that has not been released to him yet.
Okay,
So we could hold it in place for
okay, good.
this,
All
that
right, thank you.
project and stuff.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, any other concerns with anybody?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve IWWC 2535, Jonathan Abrams repointing his wall and replacing and enlarging his steps into the lake to 6 feet. No bond, no additional bond required.
Just a friendly amendment, if I might, the repair of the wall should have been stricken, that was deemed by right maintenance. This is just the stairs.
Oh,
Okay, thank you. Second, Gary. All those in favor of approval of just the wall and the stairs, basically?
No, it was
The
just.
stairs.
Just the stairs.
Okay, all right, so we've approved your ability or your application to move ahead and remedy your stair problem, but please meet with Jeff. I'm dealing in good faith with you that you will follow up with Jeff and just remedy that issue that I brought up to your attention.
Okay. I will do
Thank you
that.
very much. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Next order of business, now we'll go back to the public hearing. Mr. Stanziali, application 25-37. Once again, would you mind coming forward, introduce yourselves?
Steve, I'm recusing myself.
Okay? And for the records, just please introduce yourselves again,
Oh, I'm Sean Stanziel, 504 East Wakefield Boulevard.
okay?
Try that.
You just want to pull up the plan?
Yeah.
I can pull it from
Oh, okay.
I was just about to do that anyway.
What's that, Jeremy?
All set, yeah.
Okay, introduce yourself, please.
Kyle Case of KCC Consulting. I'm the professional engineer for the project.
Okay, and you're here to talk about the wetlands issues that are consistent with the building of the house.
Correct.
The waterfront has been resolved. To my knowledge, ZBA has been resolved,
Yep.
so we can move ahead. So we're just gonna stay focused on the house and the waterfront, the,
Let me read
you know,
it again, right?
go ahead.
Sure. So on the plan here, we have our proposed structure and that with the new driveway, garage and house attached with the new driveway layout more centered on the property and regrading the site on the front half of the property to make it more level and take the big hump out where the existing garage is. And then we'll work our way down around the structure. The slopes are steep, so they're gonna end up being a riprap slope down into the backyard, the lakefront, which will end up being a flatter graded yard with the retaining wall for, off the lake further.
Where you're talking about now, that's on the side of Gonzalez?
Both sides are gonna be riprap, going down towards the lake on the sides.
Okay, both sides.
Both sides, yep. And so then the retaining wall we show here is in the location of the second retaining wall that's currently on the property. There's 2 retaining walls in the backyard currently.
That's the one closest to the lake or closest to?
The one closest in the lake is gonna be removed, and this one's gonna replace the one closer to the house.
Okay.
And then we have our infiltration trench to deal with runoff from the property, from the structure, is down right below the stairs with a buffer of plantings. And that's designed to take the water from the roof structure. And then the footing drains will dump out into the riprap slope on each side of the structure. The front yard currently has a lot of ledge and stone present with not much vegetation cover, so the runoff potential there is quite high, and it's mostly directed towards the lake. This new design, the driveway is sloped, has a cross slope to it to have that all sheet onto the grass. That'll treat that water before it makes its way down through the riprap, which provides extra treatment into the backyard before it make it to the lake. So the water quality entering the lake from any runoff on the property will be greatly increased or improved.
What I think I heard you say was most of the runoff on the street side of the house where the garage would be
Yeah.
is gonna run off to the sides of the property?
It's gonna run.
Because it's all ledge.
Yeah, so right now it's all ledge. We're gonna blast that out.
Oh.
And replace it with, it's gonna be like a flat yard. It's like 5 or 7% grading from the road down to the covered porch area. And that'll all be sodded with turf. So that'll give some filtration to the water and slow the water down as it makes its way from the driveway and the street side towards the lake. Can you go ahead a couple?
Down a few sheets?
Yeah, so this is the impervious coverage sheet. It's not really wetlands, it's just kind of showing the reduction in impervious coverage, providing more natural surfaces for the water to run through. We've got a reduction of close to 3%, I believe, is what we were at, 3.5%.
Keep going.
Just talk a little bit louder.
Yep. So this is our erosion and sediment control plan. So we'll have the temporary access tracking pad, and then we have our erosion control matting in the areas for the turf to be installed on the front side. Going down the embankments, before it's stone, we'll have straw wattle barriers spaced accordingly for the slope. And then in the backyard between the retaining wall and the lake wall, we'll have additional erosion control. And there's 2 different hashings there. One is for the work associated with the lake wall. We'll have temporary restoration of that, so there's no, doesn't become a mud pit in the springtime with the spring freeze and thaws and then the rains. And then temporary erosion control for that if anything gets disturbed when we go to construct the house. One more. You can skip that one, Jeremy. Yeah. So there's our erosion control details, our silt fence, hay bales. Let's talk about it. And then on this sheet here, I changed the modified riprap slope detail to, oh, that one doesn't have it. But we've included, Commissioner Paganelli brought up the geotextile fabric last meeting we were here. So I've incorporated that in the detail that will have a layer in between the riprap and the granular fill below it to prevent the fines from washing out into the infiltration system and the yard space. And we went to permeable pavers for the sidewalks to reduce our impervious coverage, and here's our detail for that. That's also on this page. It's size for the 1.3 inches of rain required by the Stormwater Quality Manual set forth by CTGEP. I think that pretty much sums up the scope of the project.
What precautions are you taking if you have to blast?
I mean, we're not at that point now, but that's, we're gonna hire a professional blast company that, is going to handle that. I guess there's one person
And
right
that's
on the
all,
lake.
that would all be within the upland review area, the blasting, for the most part?
Yes,
Yeah.
Most blasting companies will have seismographic equipment set up on adjoining property owners, and they'll do pre-blast surveys just to make sure that there's no issues once construction
They're
starts.
required to, within 250 feet of the blast site, they're required to do pre-blast.
Can we make a condition that we be notified prior to any blasting? I mean, can they do it without us being aware of it?
No, the
No.
town has to issue a permit.
Oh.
Fire marshal issues that permit.
Okay, good. So then we don't have to be involved with that at all?
No.
Okay, good. Anybody else with any other concerns? We have to raise our concerns now, and if we're finished and anybody in the audience that would like to raise concerns, and then we have an option of continuing the public hearing or closing the public hearing. Once we close it, we can't ask for anything else new or anything like that. Everybody good? Any questions from us? Frank? Gary, you good? I'm good. Matt?
I'm good?
Okay. Do you guys have anything to add?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Since this is a public hearing, is there anybody in the audience that would like to participate in the public hearing and raise any concerns? I'd like you to please come forward now. John? Introduce yourself when you sit down, please.
Yes, good evening, members. I'm John Pollock. I'm Sean's next-door neighbor. And I just wanted to add a couple of remarks. On November 1st, we had a big discussion. Sean, his wife Brooke, myself, and Mary. And one of the big problems we had here was basically, I don't think I was given all the information from the zoning board, and it caused a problem with the survey. Like the survey that we have on the screen right now, I really didn't get a copy of that or anything like that. And the one that was on there previously showing the old information with the new information, I had to go back to the zoning board the next day, and I got a copy of that, and that settled a lot of my questions. And on that discussion that we had on November 1st with Sean, he explained where the house was going to be, which I knew, and he gave me a lot more detail on it. And he explained where the garage was going to be, which I had an idea where it was going to be. And I was satisfied with that. The only concern that we possibly may have in the future would be blasting. And so hopefully there won't be any problems there. Today he was there and I spoke with him. He was down by the waterfront. And
When you say he was there,
Sean was there today. And I just asked him a question about the lake bed, and he explained that to me with the sand and filling the holes, etc. And then my ramp was damaged a little bit from the excavation, and he also said that that was going to be fixed, so I don't have any issue with that. So basically, I'm pretty much satisfied as to what he plans to do. And like I said, the only concern maybe would be possible future blasting, but we'll have to see what happens there. And I wanted to thank the members of the Inlands Wetlands for their time, especially the people that came out to look at it. Steve came out to look at it, Gary came out to look at it, and Mary Ann came out to look at it, and it possibly might have came out to look at it. And if anybody else came out, I appreciate it. I probably didn't see you, and I give them my blessing to go forward, and again, I thank the board.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, John.
Is there anybody else in the audience that would like to speak? This is anybody's last opportunity, because once we close the hearing. All right, is there a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make that motion to
Go ahead,
close the
Frank.
hearing on IWWC 2535. I'm sorry, 37, I'm sorry. 2537, public hearing dated November 20th, 2025.
And it's to demolish the existing home and garage and construct a new home with attached garage. Is there a second? Jamie? All those in favor of closing the public hearing? That's unanimous. Thank you very much. The next order of business, we did Abrams. We're now on the application of the public hearing, application 25-37. The applicant is Sean Stanziali. The address is 504 East Wakefield Boulevard. And the proposal is to demolish the existing home and garage and construct a new home with attached garage. We have an opportunity now to ask any concerns that we may have. Anybody? All right, I just want to look at my there were some comments made by the staff, and I want to be sure that they're addressed at this meeting.
We just suggest a condition of approval that inspections by and reports from the project engineer to be submitted to the land use department regarding proper installation of P&S controls, and then a final report at the end.
And the maintenance schedule to be related to the permeable pavement.
Yeah, we have that in the revised plans.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so that was one comment that would make a condition, or it's part of,
Yeah,
that
the
would be
idea
a
is to be a
condition.
condition, yep.
And then, I think one of the conditions should also be that, that this is a significant project, a lot of detail involved, close proximity, that as we enter different stages of the project, that staff visit the site so that you're informed as to what the next step might be and any issues that might have not been predicted or foreseen to happen. So that I would like to make a condition that the applicant or his or her representative keep the staff informed on a regular basis as to the project. Okay?
Would that be like an email trail or something? Like, how would it keep informed, like, right, so is there a project manager maybe with the site? Like, what would that look like? I mean, I'm just wondering
I
if
don't
you're
know.
making the condition, yeah.
Would there be a project manager supervising this, or would you be personally involved? Would your engineer be?
Yeah, there will be. Is that a typical, do many jobs have that request? As long as there's other jobs that has been asked of. I mean, that feels like, if I look back at the meetings over the last year, I don't remember that level of request. I just would want to be fair to my contractor, that if we had to stop the project.
Well, I don't think, yeah, I appreciate the way you're articulating it. I don't think, if the office is notified a day or three ahead of time, I'm sure they can make an hour to stop by and visit with the contractor. And maybe, maybe it's overkill, but again, you're working in a tight space.
I would just like it to be as fair.
Good.
That every other project be held that standard, or the ones previous to that.
Or the future ones.
Whether it's Mr. Nardelli's project or any of them, as long as you apply the same things as everyone else has in mind, I'm totally fair. But I have spent soil scientists, engineers, I've really spent a lot of money.
Absolutely.
Far more than almost anyone on this size project. I I just would like it to be, everyone get treated before me and after me at this level, that's the only thing I ask.
I don't think we're looking to hold you up whatsoever, at least in my view. It's just a notification. So
Of
if you're
what, though?
pouring, if they're gonna pour concrete, or if they're gonna blasting through the town anyways, okay, the only thing that we have any stance on whatsoever is the erosion control. So once you go out and look at your erosion control, and it's in place, if other activities take place, it's our responsibility to have somebody go out there, not have them call to come and look at my erosion control, look at my erosion control. That's all we have, is erosion control.
From a staff perspective, we routinely stop by ongoing projects all the time, not necessarily scheduled. Just stop in, make sure everything is in place. When it comes to the wall construction part of this, the building official is involved, when footings are poured, they do the pre-inspections, so all these inspections are kind of built in anyway. I think maybe the question is, if anything out of the ordinary comes up that we haven't discussed, maybe reach out and let us know at that point, but you can expect me to swing by occasionally.
I try to be have I been very transparent, I literally
Absolutely.
check in, I work with the town's engineer, I literally update him multiple times per week. We've talked several times since I started the project, so I'm very transparent. So I will make sure I follow the rules.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
The thing with this too is, obviously it is a steep slope you have there, but it's all ledge, and ledge doesn't erode much. So, I mean, there's gonna be minimal erosion of any sort with the rock that's on the job, so.
Okay, we have a motion, or we don't? I forgot.
Not yet.
Not yet. Anybody like to make a motion to the effect of approval?
Is that, so are we in agreement about, we brought up one condition was to have the engineer certify, which is fairly standard, the erosion control methods, right? But as far as the second, it's my thought, or I think that we weren't putting any second,
I'm comfortable if Jeff
On that.
assures us that he stops by regularly.
yeah, and then you have
That's-
all the
that's-
full permitting, you have
that's fine.
inspectors there all the
Yep,
time. So
I'm
I'd
good.
like to make a motion to accept
Thank you.
IWWC 2537 for 504 East Wakefield Boulevard to demolish existing home and garage and construct new home with attached garage, with the condition of having the site engineer certify the erosion control methods have been installed per their spec.
And a bond?
Where do we stand with the bond on the waterfront? That bond should cover.
Jeff, do you know how much we asked for a bond for the waterfront? You guys know?
Existing,
Tom came up.
$50.
How much?
It was $3,900. Grimaldi was gonna come up with that, that's why we don't.
What's that?
Grimaldi was gonna come up with that. That's
Yeah.
why we don't remember it.
Yeah.
He left it to him to
Me
decide that.
personally, I think that
Enough?
that bond should cover the whole.
Okay, so we'll let that bond cover the whole project. Okay, anybody with anything else?
do we have a second then?
Second.
Jamie? All those in favor of
Just
approval?
one quick thing, I believe you said accept, you probably wanna say approve.
Oh,
I did. I wrote accept,
Oh.
approve, sorry.
okay, thank you.
Good catch.
All those in favor of approval? Aye becomes unanimous. Good luck with the project. When do you intend to begin?
Not till March.
Oh,
I don't, it's probably March.
you're gonna lose the whole summer.
Yeah, well, the goal starts September. I'm trying, I'll do the best I could.
All right,
I
guy.
don't think I get anyone to start.
Good luck with it.
Probably won't have a building permit till January, I bet, so, thank you all.
Have a good holiday.
Thank you.
Jamie.
Let the record show that Mary Ann is back on the board. We have no new business. Probably the first time in 20 years. I don't ever remember.
They're running out there without our permission, that's what's going on. They're doing all that work without our permission.
Agent determinations, Jeff?
Yeah, just one to discuss, 161 Meadow Street, is the, car detailing place that's been under construction for some time at the end of Meadow Street. They came in with their paving permit, and just because of relation of the river there, it's in the review area, but it's a simple paving job. It also includes the required dumpster enclosure pad in the upland review area, so I approve that by
Okay.
determination, no big deal there.
Good.
Next, with the as-of-right determinations, in addition to A through F, which you have on your agenda, a few others came in today, 206 East Wakefield, 204 East Wakefield, 535 Wheelers Point, and 539 Wheelers Point, all also as-of-right determination. Got the guys out there pretty good now. They send me pictures, they talk about exactly what they need to do. Most of them are just remortaring and pointing and that kind of stuff, so those are all added to your list of as of right. So this is probably why you're not seeing as many new applications in front of you, because they've been discussed beforehand, so those are there for you as well.
Could you identify, just for my purposes, any names associated with the Wheeler Point one?
Because I have the email, let me double check if it's listed. Name's not listed here. We could check GIS real quick if Jeremy on that.
You mind?
No, I don't mind.
That's the one working with an excavator out there,
Which one?
Wheeler's Point?
There should be no excavator on any of the.
I didn't go out, I mean, I could see it from the road when I
Yeah.
drove by,
Yeah.
so I don't know to what extent they're doing it. And then also the other one was the bridge repair at
Yeah, so
508.
that's 508. I did go out there the other day after we spoke, and actually Jeremy and I stopped there today as well, because we were in the area. So that's almost being considered like an emergency repair at this point. I don't know if you got out and looked too close, but with the amount of traffic that's been going over there with the renovation of the house, they've actually lost a few of the capstones on the wall, have fallen off.
For about 20 years now.
Yeah, so they're making it worse now with all the traffic there.
Okay.
So unfortunately, the contractor came in 2 weeks ago at this point to talk about it, and they'd really like to do a full job there, but they don't have the time with the drawdown. They're gonna have to wait until 5 years from now to do that properly. But we did decide to let them, they basically set up forms a couple inches off the existing causeway walls, and they're gonna be pouring just to try to solidify that thing as they continue to traverse over it.
Is that right in the lake bed? Are the forms set in the lake bed?
Right on top of, yeah, and there's, but there's no footings, they're not dug into the lake bed, so it's not a long-term fix by any means.
No,
They're
'cause
just trying
it's-
to hold those rocks
Yeah,
together.
there's not even any rebar, any kind of reinforcement whatsoever. I mean, it's like, there's no way it's not temporary, because it's not gonna last.
So what's gonna stop it from crumbling into the lake?
Well,
Once
that's-
the water
and
gets
that's-
big.
And yeah, they'll have some more cleanup to do when they address this for real.
They're gonna have to come in for a real permit to fully rebuild that thing, there's no question about it.
Yeah.
So that
There's no-
we
there's no
contracted
question
some
about
more
it.
while we were there, we walked the site, and there were a
You oughta let
few
them-
piles of dirt that have been dug up with no controls whatsoever. So I need to make sure that he gets some controls around those piles as well.
Just a comment that my sense is that it's going to have to be an engineered rebuild.
Yes.
I would think so.
They should start now for 4 years or 5 years from now.
Not a bad idea.
Seriously.
Right.
You know, only because they'll get jammed up
Mm-hmm.
and,
And that causeway does have a pass-through through it, so, you know, they've got some
It's
things
used.
to consider there.
good.
That area there is probably only 30 inches deep of water
Yeah.
in the summertime, so they could do that. They don't need a deep drawdown.
Oh, okay, yeah,
So,
it is possible.
I mean, in my mind, get going on it now and, you know,
Yeah.
get the ball rolling, because
Yeah.
obviously it's, you know, it's quite significant. Obviously, a bridge, I mean, we just made the guy jump through hoops over widening his stairs 3 feet.
Right.
And now we're just, you know, set up forms and pour it and do what you want to do, and, you know, so.
I would kind of like to have a description of all the agent determinations. I don't know how you guys feel about that. I don't want a description of what the agent determinations are. You know, I drive around the lake and I see stuff going on, and, you know, is it permitted? Is somebody approved it? Is it?
Frank and I
so-
had the discussion prior to the meeting starting. And we were talking, it would be nice if you gave an agent determination and he just shot an email to all of us with the address. So when we're driving by, you know what I mean? At least we know something's taking place. You know, we've seen things happening.
That's a
What
good
we're
point.
actually gonna be doing is, we're gonna make this a non-paid application through OpenGov portal like everything else. So we will have the pictures in there and the details in there. So we'll be able to give you guys all that stuff in your packet, like it's a full-fledged application, but they don't need to come in and do all this.
But it
So
would
meaning
be,
if we drive by and see it,
You
that
will
stuff
have
will
the-
be, well, it'll be uploaded, so
Yep,
that
correct.
means, Gary, we can go onto the website, put in the address and see if he has.
Well, it'll be in your packet too, is the plan.
Yeah, but
No,
that's
but I
after
think
the fact.
what these guys
That's
are
after
saying
the
is
fact.
in between the meetings, sometimes we see stuff and we're
Yeah.
not sure.
Right,
you
yeah,
know.
if you wanna use OpenGov, I'm all for it, you guys can log on and check stuff out. There's no window at the lake.
It's not there for you.
Yeah, I mean, if you're
hang on, hang on, guys. Go ahead, Jeff.
and we've had this conversation before, but I mean, the reality is if you're driving by an 8.5 by 11 permit's
Right,
not,
permit, you could see, you could see it, let me tell you, you could see it.
Frank,
That's all I'm saying.
Frank, your house is close to the street,
Yes.
right.
okay?
Yeah.
My house isn't even near the street.
Okay,
There's the problem with this. We have to be told.
okay.
OpenGov, I mean, permits are in OpenGov. Everything that's permitted in the last, what, 2.5 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is in there. So that's piece of cake, and that's why we're doing the age of determination that way too.
Alright.
Because
Okay.
that way, when Jeff approves.
I'm wrong.
No, it's not about being wrong. I'm just letting you know,
Okay.
that's gonna be a better source than anything we could do on the street.
So you're saying like one of these, like, let's just pick out any of them, 543 Wakefield Boulevard, that would eventually be on OpenGov?
Yeah, yeah.
With a photograph or a description of what was
Right.
approved? Because it's, I think, Matt brings up a really good point. I mean, we definitely are trying to hold everybody on the same standard as much as possible. And then it's like you hear about somebody, well, now somebody's pouring concrete on a wall, seems like a little bit of a bigger job. And we just made somebody do a full permit with a lot of information just for a set of stairs, which is a big job too, but I mean, I think it's a valid point he brought up that that's something that everybody should be aware of, because maybe what you may determine is not that big of a thing could end up being a lot bigger. And once somebody is like, oh, well, he said I could pour concrete here, before you know it, there's an extension wing on or something, or I just always get, I mean, Matt also said, you know, there's an excavator in, I don't know if it's down on the lake bed at Wheeler Point.
It wasn't on the
but-
lake,
okay,
no,
you know,
but
so-
it was, I could see it from the road driving
Yeah.
by, so.
The only other one thing, I think Jeremy and Jeff can answer this. Working in the lake bed, like they are, I don't know if you have the right to even give that determination. If you look at it, and you look back in the state regs,
We don't.
we
You
don't,
do.
you don't.
Right.
And
We
you
do.
did.
Lake bed, yeah.
But that's the lake bed. When they're
Wetland,
pouring down
right.
to the lake bed. On top of that, you turn around, we shut down, somebody that wanted to put 2 inches on the front of their wall.
Beyond these.
Beyond this, okay? You know why? Because you were taking two inches of town property. These people are taking 2 inches of town property, they're taking 4 inches of town property.
Kiss state property.
The lake bed is owned by the town, the water is owned by the state.
Right.
But either way, you're taking 4 inches. We just shut someone down a few months ago for taking 2 inches. You know what I mean? So we
gotta be
have to
careful.
we have to be careful with this. It's just like, the last gentleman said, I don't care if I'm treated equal, I'm treated equal.
He was downplaying the size of his project. His project is huge.
Well, that's not it, that's
Less
not what
than
we're
the size
talking
of a
about.
mountain away.
It's just being treated equal, Jeff. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Right here,
I
we're
agree,
not.
but, you know, he was downplaying the size of that
I
project.
think moving forward, if there are opportunities where you think it can be an agent determination, maybe if you gave me a call and, or one of us a call just to get some feedback as to what we think. And, you know, I think I'm comfortable with you being aggressive in solving a lot of our problems so that they don't come before us
Right.
by an agent determination. But what Gary's taken is well taken. Let's not inadvertently assume too much of it where the commission loses some kind of input. So there's a balance.
What would you think about a 3-day window between you looking at it and getting it on the website and having access to us to look at it?
Oh, yeah, we
3,
can
4,
get
5
into
day a week window? I don't
schedule
know.
there, once they, put it up, you guys can get notified, look at it,
Well,
make comment.
you look at it, you say, I think that I'm gonna make a agent approval on this. Any issues? Get it out to us commissioners and we can take a look at it.
Yeah.
Again, let's not,
Should we, I mean, would that be for everything? Like, I
No,
don't
I
think he
get-
needs to
I-
do
no,
that for
certain
repoint.
Except for 508, those are all repoint.
Yeah,
jobs, so,
okay,
you know.
yeah,
yeah,
But it's when something's questionable.
exactly.
and the one that Matt's talking about.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's
Oh, that's
Yeah,
508, okay.
that's the one.
Yeah. All right, good.
So I think in terms of the other one, where we were today, what's that one? The one with the bridge?
That's
That's
508.
508,
That's
yeah.
508.
And I think, we talked about it when we were out there, the contractor wasn't there on site, we were gonna have a conversation with him, and because it's access to the property, I think we have to look at that one a little bit differently, but I think we can go back out there and say, no, you need a permit, and we talked about that, look at it as an emergency repair because of what he needs to do to provide access, but still get a permit on file, get him in here, just post facto.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that's probably the way to go with that.
Those stones have been falling like that for 20
Yeah,
years.
well, there's a real, driving out there today, somebody went
Some have
through the
freshly
top.
fallen.
And these have fallen probably within the last few days. You could just tell because of the dirt. So it's a problem. But the way they're going about it, it's gonna continue to be a problem because they're not reinforcing anything.
So let's let them get it done once.
Yeah, I suspect they're not gonna do that. They're gonna need to come back into it again, and this is more of a shore it up and hold it together for now. So we need to make contact with the contractor.
According to Matt, though, they could do that next year in a shallow Georgia.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Let's not make it
Yeah.
Right,
erode again into the lake, and then they're back doing what they want again.
right.
Okay.
They're planning on putting 2 inches of concrete on the side of the wall?
It's not, yeah, it
What's it gonna
varies.
hold? It doesn't hold it.
Right,
That doesn't do anything.
right.
Yeah, water's gonna get in there this winter and freeze.
Yeah, there's no footing, right, it's just a veneer.
It's a veneer.
That's all it is.
So,
So what's the point?
what is this? Huh?
So what's the point of doing it?
Make it look good.
Somebody's
I think-
somebody's idea in the field saying, hey, if we throw
Right,
some
right.
mortar
It's
on it, it'll be
temporarily
better
hold it
than
up.
the way it is right now.
Right.
Like, it's nothing really.
Yeah,
Right.
I'd rather see some mafia blocks set alongside of it or something.
That'll
with some-
hold it up.
What,
some
today?
that you could take out in 3 years
You
or
know,
2
today,
years. Or,
today I was going up Mountain Road, and a big trailer truck came out with a load of mafia block. I
Yeah,
don't
you
know
could
where they
sort-
wound
Put them
up.
along there, down the
Down the street from here,
Where? Me?
where the beams were,
Where?
where the beams were.
Do we know anything about that? What's going on with that?
What's it?
Where the beams, the I-beams. Remember
Oh, the I-beam.
That's
Oh, I
what-
didn't hear the word.
That's a job that got permitted
I asked,
years ago.
Jeff and I spoke about
Years
that.
ago, okay.
You were on the commission at that time.
Yeah, I was-
Oh, wait, we're losing track of where we are now, so.
Okay.
Okay.
I just wanted to add something to this. You guys have got to think about the town liability too. Because if you're permitting somebody to do shoddy repair and someone gets hurt, you gave authority for that to be done. The responsibility can come back to the town.
Yeah.
So that's why you don't do those things.
It should be looked at, I mean, you're driving over with cement mixers, you're driving over lumber trucks, it should be looked at by an engineer to make a determination on what should be done with it, rather than just put the 2 inches
Yeah.
of cement on the side. You know what I mean? They may turn around, I don't know, I didn't look at, didn't know anything about it, but, you may be able to use steel plates, you know what I mean? All your roads in the cities, you go over trenches and stuff with steel plates. There might be other avenues of getting around this on a temporary fix while they're working on their place, but it should be looked at, I would think, by an engineer.
All right, good conversation. You had information for Jeff? You were looking up an address? Yeah.
You would ask for names, I think, on the Wheeler's
Well,
Point.
only because Matt was concerned about that.
yeah,
Okay.
no,
The
that was,
excavator.
yeah, that was all the,
We're good?
that was that there. Oh, also, while we're on it, 206 Per Track Trail, the garage that got built. I believe it's 206.
It is.
206. Was part of their condition by ZBA that it be reviewed by Wetlands?
I'd have to check.
'Cause that's what it was brought to my attention that was supposed to be, and I know it never came before us. It
Well,
was,
206 was an address that Jeff gave us earlier under agent as of right determination.
per
You
truck.
gave us 204 and 206.
That was East Wakefield.
That was
That's what you're talking about.
No, I'm talking about 206
truck.
per truck. I believe it's 206. The new garage that just got built, it was,
That's right on the corner of East and Perch, so that's a per truck address?
Yes.
Trail.
That
Yeah.
never came
Yes.
before the board?
Not
I just
that-
assumed, you know,
no, not that I could see.
drove by it, I just assumed it was a meeting I had missed. So, right, I mean, I've been traveling, I missed a lot of meetings. So I was
All right,
surprised.
hang on, guys.
Maybe yes.
That's surprising me.
The distances or
Doesn't matter,
something.
it's on the shoreline.
Yeah, that's,
No, it's up
There
on the
was
street.
something.
It could be 100 feet away, I don't know.
You mean
know
outside of the
what?
review area?
Yeah, it could be.
I think it was a hundred and a half inch away or something. Is that the one?
It-
Yes.
Yeah, there's no, I don't see a well, let me look at
Oh,
the zoning permit.
Okay,
Maybe
I
there's a-
remember that one,
Yeah.
and it was just outside of the
Just outside
review
of the
area,
review
and
area.
we, yes, Ryan actually said to him, you know, you are so close to the edge of the review area that your work is gonna end up inside the
Yes.
review area, so you should go to wetlands. He did say that, but we didn't make it a condition. It wasn't made a condition, I don't believe.
In zoning, you're referring to.
foundation? Did he excavate for a new
Yeah,
foundation?
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, poured
Oh, yeah.
foundation down there when I walked in.
Anything that gets
Right.
excavated, I don't care where it is, it's
Right,
supposed
you
to
always
come
said
to
that, anything
wetlands
on the
for
shoreline.
erosion control. Anything
Anything
is
on the
supposed to
shoreline,
come to
yeah.
wetlands for erosion control.
Anything within the upland review.
It's gotta
Anything,
be-
period.
On the shoreline.
Anything, period. Generally, in most towns, anything goes before wetlands, whether it's an upland review area or not.
we,
For
cause,
erosion control,
yeah, we do
because
stuff that's across the street.
across the street, if it erodes down.
Oh, yeah, as part of a zoning permit, but it doesn't come to the wetlands commission. You don't have jurisdiction outside of the wetlands or the upland
Erosion
review.
control is wetlands.
In the upland review or in the wetlands. But outside of those, you don't have, no, the commission doesn't have jurisdiction outside. I mean,
Suffield was everywhere.
well, maybe in Suffield.
Many here over the years
We
that
did the
came
one on the
up,
private
that were
street.
across
We
the
built the
street.
building and the garage.
Hey, wait, listen, let's talk one at a time so we all hear the conversation. Go ahead, Jim, Russ.
I remember several over the years, I don't remember the exact locations, but around the lake, that stuff that it was under our purview because it was part of the drainage into the lake, so stuff that was like across the street, that was more than 100 feet, I recall. Stuff that we looked at was brought here, maybe it was a little bit brought more as almost like I won't say courtesy, but something along those lines, saying, well, have them take a look at it, it's direct drainage into the lake
Sure.
one way or the other, you know.
And I can understand looking at it in 100-foot review area, all right, saying, okay, we're not gonna bring it here. But at that point in time, coming from zoning, you guys should still enforce the erosion control end of it.
No question about that.
Was it enforced?
Well, it was reviewed. I did not visit that project, I'll be honest with you.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say, you know, if we don't wanna, if we wanna just set our limits to the 100-foot review area, that's fine. But somebody does have to enforce the erosion control from there out.
Well, this is where an overlay zone
Right.
would start to become very important, which is something that we've been talking about, right?
Yep.
I think an overlay zone is really important.
What does that refer to an overlay zone?
Well, so that's more of a zoning issue. One of the things that you could consider, and again, I've done this in a different lake community, you have 100-foot upland, well, you have a 100-foot upland review area around wetland, or water courses, and 75 feet around wetlands.
Wetlands.
What you might want to consider, is look at the lake, look at all of your lakes, but look at Highland specifically, and figure out sort of what the average depth of the properties is around that, right? Because this is what I ran into in the other community. We had a 100-foot upland review. Most of the lakefront properties were about 200 feet deep. So people would do all kinds of stuff up to that 100-foot line, pave their driveway, they do all this stuff, and it's still on a slope. So the jurisdiction line is here, but they're doing all this stuff up here. Now, we still had erosion control measures and all the rest of it that were required as per zoning. So we upped the upland review area to 200 feet to capture the entire property all the way around the lake. So that's something that you could think about, in the future, is just to adjust your upland review so that you're capturing those properties.
That would be part of the ordinance?
That would be part of your wetland regulations. You could do that.
Without approval?
Without going anybody else, you can do that. It's a public hearing that you have to hold whenever you adjust your regulations, but you could do that.
That's
consider.
probably worth considering.
Yeah, something to consider.
Gives you more work, but that's all right. Sometimes that's okay.
All right, Jeff, you want to
Next.
continue?
Please. Violations?
Violations, 139 West Wakefield, as we talked at the last meeting, there was a court hearing, and the judge basically kicked it down the road for another 6 months. So we will reconvene at a later date.
Which one was that?
It's,
139?
that
Rentals.
slightly oversized dock.
And
needs to be
the
shaken
rentals,
Quick
right?
deed, the quick deed.
That's a different, yeah.
Right, okay.
Well, all things being equal, though, it should still be resolved before next season.
That's 6 months away, no? Think you're
Well,
right, beginning
if
of
you
season.
recall, this whole season, it never
Was
went
empty.
back in the
Right,
water, and
right.
she didn't have any boats there, so it's sort of in a holding pattern.
All right, good. Thank you. Under other business, there's a calendar.
Oh, I didn't get, I can get one, I didn't, as I said, I didn't get a package.
I'll get it up on the screen.
The calendar, very simply, it's every third Thursday of the month.
Okay.
There are no exceptions at all,
Okay, good, okay, no problem.
because I checked, I went month by month, so.
Wanna see if any
No holidays, no issue.
No holidays,
Okay,
it's not
fine,
near
okay.
Thanksgiving, it's not near Christmas, it's not near Hanukkah, it's not near Ramadan, or,
Yeah, okay.
We have to make a motion to accept these?
yes, you wanna make it?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Motion to accept the draft for the 2026 meeting calendar.
Second.
Okay, any discussion, any concerns? All right, all those in favor of acceptance? All right, unanimous, thank you. Let's hold off the Department of Public Works. Let's go down to the Selectman Liaison Report, because there's a selectman here, and I'd like to bring Bill into the conversation. And Bill, last month or 2 months ago, or many months back, we submitted our ordinance to the selectmen because we thought there were some, not minor, significant changes, but not altering changes to the ordinance that we wanted the selectmen to approve. And it sat there for a while, to my understanding, and it came back to us where it was not approved, and they'd like us to consider including language regarding a waiver, where my understanding would be that any property owner or every property owner, if he or she wasn't happy with the limits of the ordinance and what they could do and what they couldn't do, that they could ask for a waiver, which is sort of like, I'm gonna use the word, it's an extension of the ordinance beyond the ordinary. Some cases, or many cases, it's, you buy a piece of property in the wrong area, and you wanna build a lot of docks and boat lifts out there, and you only have 40 feet, and we say you can't. Now, with this waiver, you can ask us to reconsider the ordinance, so it's a mushrooming kind of thing. Mary Ann last month offered to write a letter, a draft letter, back to the selectmen,
Yeah.
which we have in front of us.
And it incorporates the notes from the commissioners from last meeting's discussions. I don't know, did everybody read it?
I would hope so. We
Does-
put it on the agenda, and I asked specifically for it to be read.
Right,
So-
okay, cool.
Any concerns about it?
No. Very, very well written.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't know, Bill, did you get a copy of it?
I
'Cause-
did that, I just, you guys all of a sudden became my,
I just gave them up.
this past Monday, I told everybody, just put me on every board, because I seem to be here all the time anyway. So I'm really very unfamiliar with how even inland wetlands works, and give you guys a lot of credit, you have to go to classes and learn a bunch of stuff, so I'm gonna have to learn how this goes here to be helpful to you guys.
Okay,
So some of it, I'm like, we talk water quality or wastewater, I can talk crap with you all day long, but this is way different sort of.
no, the reason why
So,
I had asked Jeff to invite you guys, or the representative,
right.
was because I wanted the conversation to be live where if you wanted to, you could participate in it. But this conversation doesn't have to begin or end tonight. It's just, we're gonna be kicking it around, and,
So, I got the letter.
Oh, okay.
I was your liaison for last.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, and I gave it up to Bill. Jeff sent me the letter, that's why I'm here tonight. I did read your letter, and thinking back on that vote from the selectmen, I believe that Selectman Perez brought in a letter from a woman on the lake who had a lot of investment in what you guys were talking about, and it was determined after her recommendation that we voted down and asked for that.
I'm not following you. You lost me.
I mean, none of us were really aware of what was going on as far as what you guys were doing. The selectman, Selectman Perez brought in a letter. Do you remember that letter from that lady?
I've been
Can't
to so
think of her
many
name.
meetings, I can't remember.
Can't think of her name, but anyway, so after we all listened to her thing, we all agreed that, you know, maybe this was the way to go,
A waiver.
a waiver.
This letter,
That was brought up by Selectman Perez. So that's why it got voted that way, and that's why you got the letter that was sent back to you, to Jeff, to give to you. So I recommend, as your old liaison and a selectman, that several of you show up and I can set it up, show up at a selectman meeting and state your case to all the selectmen, because 2 of us are new, and there's 5 older members that are from last year, but I don't think any of us really had a gist of what was going on.
I know, I did.
And we took from an experienced selectman, we took her word for it, and that's how it was handled.
Can
So
I,
would, you know.
can I summarize
Yeah.
what my opinion, of what my feeling is, how this whole process started? Probably a year and a half ago now, the commission asked myself and 2 other people to form a subcommittee to review the dock and mooring ordinances. And we did that over the course of 6, 8, 10 months. Brought it to the commission several times. The changes were highlighted in, I think they're in green or the different color, whatever it is. We all agreed on it. We voted to present that to the Board of Selectmen. We did that.
But the most substantive change you asked for was to change the language from having 1 jet ski lift and 1 boat lift to 2 vessel lifts.
Right, we changed it to
Right.
not 1 boat lift and 1 dual jet ski lift
Right,
to 2 vessel lifts.
right, and I think,
So,
Coming back now.
and if I recall correctly, Selectman Perez suggested that you just add the definition, right, of, that lifts are specifically for jet skis or boats.
she suggested this at the selectmen's meeting?
Yeah,
Or it
with-
never came to us?
No, because they were all discussing it.
okay, so the way I understood it was that the Board of Selectmen wanted to tie in with that ordinance revision other language that allowed us to make exceptions for a whole host of other things. If
Correct.
there was safety involved, if there were safety issues.
That was
I think-
Selectman Marino's suggestion, because I was at that meeting.
And I
And there
think
was a
our-
whole discussion about him wanting a longer dock,
And I think
which
our
Frank brought up at the last meeting.
I think the commission's consensus was, we don't want that responsibility to determine what is safe and what is not safe. Someone wants a longer dock to get further in the lake, whatever. I know there's people that have docks at the end of their, rocks, huge boulders at the end of their docks, they'd like to have them removed. All kinds of things that would come up to deem them as safety issues, and I don't believe we want to be responsible for that.
You know, the other thing also, tonight, I think you heard that the remote conversation that took place with the gentleman remotely, we have a responsibility and an ability that when an applicant comes before us with a waterfront issue, if they want to build a new house and their waterfront is all out of compliance, we can't do anything. But if they come to us with a waterfront application, like the gentleman did with the stairs, and in my visiting the site, I see a dock that's 20, 25 feet out into the water permanent, and I see two 10, 15-foot sections on the land, and I'm saying, where do you want to put them? And he says, honestly, further out. Now, we can bring him, and we have a responsibility to bring him into compliance. Once we start with waivers, then everybody's gonna cry with a different reason. Well, I need this, and I need that, and I want this. You know, you buy where you buy, and there are limits to that piece of property. You buy property with 130 feet of waterfront, you have more liberty than 40 feet of waterfront. So, you know, a waiver says, well, I have 40 feet, but what I want, what the guy with 130 feet has. And that, to me, is just opening up a Pandora's box every other day, because if my neighbor gets something and it impacts me negatively, well, I can ask for a waiver now to do something different and impact them. So that's where I'm coming from on that.
I'm gonna have to go back and look at the minutes on that, because I don't remember exactly.
The other thing
That
with
was a
it,
while ago.
the other thing with that is, majority of the problems that we have, people want to extend their docks are in the coves, right?
The what?
In the cove,
Yeah.
in the coves. And the unfortunate part for the people in the cove is your littoral line, as it leaves your property, gets narrower. So the further you go out with your dock, the less you have on the sides.
Right.
In your property.
You know what I mean? You're encroaching, because not everybody is down the middle of their property with their dock. And you want to extend, now you're encroaching over the littoral line to someone else, you know what I mean? So it's a real quagmire for us to be able to sit here and say, oh, you can go 60 feet, you can go 40 feet, and then all of a sudden the neighbor comes in, you know,
It's a quagmire where we are
Well, you
now.
know-
Adding this to it is like,
One person
like
can get
you're
it, one
just
person
asking for
Right.
trouble.
You know what we're also doing? We're looking to ensure compliance, and a waiver sort of moves us away from compliance by granting the waivers. So, you know, where the rules and regulations are very specific to the entire community on a waterfront, that, you know, you don't have anything different than somebody else has. If you have what somebody else has, then you could be the same. Once we start with waivers, we're setting apart, there's no rules and regulations anymore. And then I think we leave ourselves open to a suit, because a waiver is individual to somebody, and if we turn the next person down, well, I have the same situation, and you said yes, and now you're saying no. So it's just, you know, there's no, my sense is there's just no consistency, and it makes our job almost impossible to be objective and fair about it, because, you know, you listen to somebody and they're crying woes and you feel sorry, so we say yes, and then the next guy, well, you know, they didn't cry enough, so we're gonna say no. And Sean Sorziali brought something up. You know, all I wanna be treated as the same as anybody else, and it's a good point.
We've had people come in who wanted to go in a cove, wanted to go 100% legal, put their stuff through. The people on either side were totally illegal. Okay? And it would be no different than if you gave that person variance, this person wants to come in and be legal, all right, and we shut them down. Because
Right
of
now, the
complaints.
only
Well, the neighbors
options
shut
that we
down.
have. is
The neighbors shut them
littoral.
down.
Yeah.
We had to go
That's all we're-
with
Yeah,
the
it was
neighbors.
terrible.
One at a
That was
time, guys.
wrong.
Jeff, go ahead.
The only thing that we have the ability to vary from the ordinance is littoral borders. That's the only thing that we can make exception to, the 10 feet on either side.
And it requires a public hearing.
And it requires public hearing for that, so.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe that was it was left as a suggestion. It wasn't voted on where it had to be, correct?
Right, no change has been made.
So no change. So you can come back to the selectmen and pretty much know now that now that we have a better understanding of it, that it would most likely pass. So I don't think you really need to take the selectmen's suggestion as gospel, that you just leave it the way you want it. You guys are the experts, that's your field. Our field is budget and other stuff.
So should we
you know,
submit the
we're
new
not
ordinance
experts
again?
on Wetlands.
Should we submit the new ordinance again and see
Resubmit.
where
I
it
would
goes?
submit, resubmit it. I also would I would submit the letter to explain to the rest of the board, me and Bill got it now, you know, why, that waiver is a bad idea. And I think pretty much possibly it would pass, no.
I'm gonna ask a loaded question. Is there anybody on the commission that feels in favor of the waiver?
No, because we
Yeah,
employ
we
ourselves
talked
with
about this a lot.
historical
That's-
data and historical memory of what we made decisions on, not to go across somebody else, so no.
It even goes further than that, it goes into the safety issue. Once you start getting waivers and you're starting to get into these littoral lines, you know, and we've been there, where people have to go around somebody's dock to access their own property.
Yeah, it's hard to navigate their own boat.
You know what I mean? To put their own boat in
Yeah,
front of
it
their own
becomes a
dock.
navigation issue.
You know, so going to longer docks and stuff like that, and all right, now it goes longer, well, I want wider. Well, you know, now you have waivers on all kinds of stuff.
And we are already seeing this trend of people putting buoys or markers out because the boats, the wake boats, the wave action is so much bigger that it's causing damage to their walls, to their docks. So they're taking it upon themselves to try to get the boats to navigate further away. So if you start to allow longer docks, and then the people put the thing out, then you're pushing all the boats into the center and you're creating more navigational hazard in the center of a very narrow lake.
I agree. I applaud you guys for taking that step, and I think it's a great thing, because eventually all these non-compliant docks are gonna come for you for repair, and that's when you get them. If you
Right.
don't have the beef behind you to do something about it, then they're gonna get away with it, so I think this is great.
You know, the other thing also, it's actually unfortunate that the issue that came before you through your Selectman Perez didn't come to the commission or to one of us as a courtesy phone call to say, this is sort of brewing, you know, give you a heads up on
I
it.
wish I could, I gotta look for the minutes, I'll get you the woman's name.
I think I was at that meeting, and it was really, like, I believe, if I recall correctly, it was about just defining specifically, if we were gonna allow 2 lifts as vessel lifts, rather than using the word vessel, just defining 4 jet skis or ski boats and defining the length, because there was a concern that like a vessel could be defined only as boats and they're only supposed to have 2 boats on the property, so then
3.
they could, or 3 boats on the property, but they could put in 2 big lifts and have 4, you know, so that was the whole concept.
Well, I think.
And then the waiver thing sort of
I think the
made
language,
its way
the
in.
language of the ordinance is specific. It says
Like that truck.
you can have a boat lift and a double jet ski lift.
Right.
But you can't have a double boat, you know, 2 double boat lifts. 2 boats, 2 boats. 1 boat, 2 jet skis, or 2 boats.
Yeah, that was discussed, and like I said, she made sense when she brought that up. I think that's why we all
Right.
went that way. As far as the waiver thing, I don't know where that came from, and I don't even remember how that went down, but.
I'm learning about you guys, so.
Jeff and Jeremy can tell us.
Who gave you about a waiver?
All right, so you, all right, so you got a sense from the commission how we feel. You can bring the message back. We're gonna submit the letter, and we're gonna resubmit the request for approval.
I think that's a great.
Okay?
Jeff did have one note on the letter. He just wanted to make sure that there was one mention of like, if someone comes in for,
Make a go refer to a page and something, so we,
oh yeah, but it should be page
I
numbered.
think
It's
it's,
under the
probably
section,
3. Safety paradox and
safety
congestion.
paradox and congestion concerns.
Well, when I first read this a couple days ago, I didn't know that Mary Ann had read was involved with the rewriting of the ordinances. So that's why I put a question there that we had already discussed all this at several meetings about the 2 vessel lifts as opposed to.
Right. Well, I wasn't involved, but I was aware, because I wasn't on the board when you guys did that. Yeah.
So you wanna make, do we need to make a
Well,
change with that letter?
Just, Jeff's note was allowing waivers for longer docks and additional boat lifts, so he just thought that I think, if I read your note correctly, that I should clarify boat lifts that are additional to what is allowed in the dock and mooring ordinance. Because he did wanna make sure that it didn't muddy the waters with the other requests.
I read that to mean
Yeah.
that you weren't agreeing with the two boat lifts.
Right.
Two vessel lifts.
Right, so I can fix that so it doesn't confuse the two issues.
Would it make more sense if the letter had all our signatures on it,
Oh,
as
yeah.
opposed to only the chairs?
Well, it does, right? On behalf of commission members, list all commission names. Says that.
Okay.
You want us to all sign?
No,
it?
so long as, because I did ask specifically if there's anybody who has anything contrary to say, so I just want to reinforce and respect your approval or opinion of what we're doing.
I will adjust that piece.
Okay.
And then it can get circulated and you guys can all decide if it's
Good.
aptly.
Okay, thank you very much for doing the letter, Mary Ann.
Yeah, no problem.
Anybody with anything else? Gentlemen, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Nice to meet you, Bill.
Nice to meet you guys.
And same here. And, Jeff, you want to go back to Public Works?
Yeah, I spoke to Jim today. So regarding the discussion you and I had about the schedule of the culvert, storm drain cleaning, and if he had a specific schedule that he kept. He does not have a specific schedule. What he does is, he needs to sweep the lake first, and then as early as possible in the spring, suck up the storm drains, suck all the water out of the storm drains. He can't do that till the weather is warm enough so it doesn't freeze in his tank. So that's the limitation he has there. So he does do the sweeping first, the vacuum of the storm drains as soon as it warms up enough. He sweeps the lake 5 or 6 times during the year, and then the second time of sucking out the storm drains at the end of the
The
summer.
question I have
He
is
said
that
he does not need to suck those storm drains out every time he sweeps. He says if he keeps up on the sweeping, that's
No, okay.
sufficient.
The question I have, is there a schedule or is there a record of the storm drains? And let's say he sweeps 5 times a year, does he have the dates on record where he could say, I swept this, and these dates, and I did these 15 storm drains the first week in July, and I did 10 others the second week in July?
I could do that next month. I can call him again.
I think that would alleviate a lot of our concerns and a lot of the comments that have passed that,
I think sweeping it 5 or 6 times over, the course of 4 months, that's pretty good.
The sweeping of the roads is great. The downside of our roads is we don't have curbs, okay? So it's not, and we don't have good catch basins. Our infrastructure sucks, all right? But, in all honesty, in the wintertime, you're going around, you're putting sand down, and we prefer to have sand rather than salt, right? Because of the lake.
Don't they use a chemical mixture though too, the green?
but it's more sand.
We try to
more
use
sand,
more
yeah.
sand around the lake than anything else. So basically, my opinion is if you don't have a structure with a good sump, okay, your catch basins should be pumped just prior to winter before you start putting all the sand down, because if the basin is already full,
He does.
where is it going?
He
One in
does.
front of my
He
house.
It goes in
does.
the road.
is full.
You know what I mean? So primarily, it's a fall cleanup. It's a fall cleanup. You know what I mean?
And that's what he
Just to
does.
get you through the winter with your
and, you know, you
sand that
could-
you're putting
Leaves
on
are
the road.
down.
It's the spring and
Yeah.
fall, that's what he does.
And, you know, you
He
could
does
also-
sweeping in between.
you could also see areas of the roads around the lake where because of hills, there's more sand than on a level 500 yards or 400 yards of East or West Wakefield Boulevard or Lake Drive that are level, so there's not a lot of sand. You take some turns and some ups and downs where they really lay the sand down to prevent icing, rightly so. there's gonna be a lot more sand in those catch basins than a level a catch basin on a level street.
Okay, he did do, we spoke about the repairs that he did by Dutton's place at the end of Third Bay. And I think that came out beautiful. I know he didn't address the brook that goes underneath that red cottage. Something else came up last year apparently where a spring developed somewhere in those rocks, somewhere. And he has no idea how to handle it.
Under the cottage?
He said there's a rock somewhere. Is it on the lakeside?
It's to the right, if you're looking at that cottage, it's off to the right, there's a driveway, and then it was
There's
just,
almost a green pipe coming out of the ground there, I think, isn't it?
I don't remember.
Well, he said last year that
Maybe I'm
spring
wrong.
Water was coming
development
out of there, yeah.
had never happened before. So-
Jeff, is there a possibility that when something like this occurs, that he call us, and maybe Jeff and one of us can run up and look at it? Could you suggest that to him?
Sure.
You're a big guy, you're a big guy.
I don't direct what his job responsibilities are.
Come on, will you?
You're reporting what he tells us.
He's off to the lake, look at it that way, come on.
Friend of the lake or friend?
Who's the other lady? You?
I can,
I suggest.
I'll go on with my report.
Can I say something? There is a simpler way to control what basins he has to do at certain times. And those are the ones that are directly connected to the lake, collect to the outfall. All the other basins that connect to that basin are inlands. It's, if you make your attention to that one basin that goes to the lake, but there's 150 of them throughout the west and east-west side. I made a survey, they asked somebody who's,
Why aren't you meeting or on the committee?
what?
Why don't you meet with him?
I've been talking to him for 3 years. He gives me no comment back. I've been talking to him for 3 years, through Ms. Perez and everybody else. And the survey is there. You gave him some hoods.
Yeah.
Not one of them has been placed, not one thing has been done since the survey was done 2.5 years ago.
for catch basins.
Well, we
or
looked at all,
improvements, or-
well, no, we looked at all the existing catch basins that go directly into the lake.
Oh, I have seen hoods. Hoods have appeared this winter. I have seen hoods.
I'm not talking about those yellow silk bait things that go into the basin. These go on the outfall of, in the basin, on the outfall of the basin.
Oh,
You don't
I'm
see them.
talking about the
No,
filtration.
you're talking about the silk.
Yeah,
silk
because I've
sack.
seen all that
Yes,
filtration
yes.
stuff go in, yeah.
Yes.
How many did you give him?
What?
How many did you give him?
150.
We did.
Three or four of the big metal
Right.
DC.
And they slide right into the.
They go right over the hood.
Yeah, you just bolt
They go
a
over
piece
the
of angle
connection.
iron on, and then it goes over, and all it does, you have the flow line of the pipe,
Mhm.
it goes down below the flow line of the pipe, it's a trash.
Right.
It holds
You-
everything
You
back
guys
from
explained it
going-
one other meeting.
You know what?
Oil
I
and
think,
all that
in my
stuff.
opinion,
That's right.
the most
You gonna fire me?
compromised way the lake is
No, I'm not
contaminated
gonna be
is through the
fired.
street.
But it goes through the basin. Yeah.
That's the contamination source.
You get antifreeze, you have.
You know, especially with all the heavy equipment that's up and
Save that
down
piece.
Wakefield Boulevard during
Save
during
that piece.
construction periods. You know,
Nobody wants it.
a guy comes to clean my boiler,
I did it for the
he
city.
drives off my driveway, I got a puddle of oil on my driveway. Could you imagine a dump trunk or a cement mixer that's
But
there for
is
2
that
hours?
really the, I mean, it seems like an easy, to me, it seems like, yes, oil off a vehicle, oh my god, it's really terrible. But is it really the phosphorus, like from a lot of yard chemicals, isn't that
That's
something
part of it too,
that's, to me, much of a bigger one?
And nitrogen.
Actually,
A little bit of oil, hydraulic oil off a piece of equipment.
actually on Shore Drive, there is a oiled separator manhole that goes on the pipe
Yes.
in the easement. But they never clean it because they don't know how, or that's the way Jim said, they didn't even know it was there.
There's an old saying in wastewater, dilution is a solution.
There you go. All right.
It's a big lake.
Jeff, anything else?
Yeah, there's a couple of things.
Go ahead.
229 West. So that's from Pratt's. They're replacing 2 catch basins there. And they're replacing all the clogged pipes that run in between the catch basins for about 300 feet, and that's starting soon.
And that,
They start, okay.
isn't that happening near a project that we approved?
Yes.
That
Yeah.
garage,
And they're,
and they're,
No,
and they're,
no, the folks that are putting that
The garage.
storage unit, they're taking their shed out, putting a storage unit in front.
Nice.
Yeah, and their
Catch basin.
stormwater management, Matt asked them to put footing drains.
okay,
in-
he's stubbing a pipe to that.
Yeah,
for
and
that,
he's,
right,
and
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
hooking into
During that,
this,
right.
yeah.
During that process.
So they can, so I just wanna understand this. So their footing drains for their garage, right, are piped directly into the catch basin, into the lake, but when somebody builds a house, they can't put their footing drains in the lake. I just wanna make sure I'm clear with that. Okay, I just wanna make sure that I'm clear, that that's clarified.
Well, I think it was I think it's remedying some sort of big, like,
Groundwater issue.
groundwater
Bringing
issue.
good, clean water from your roof and from your footing drains into the lake, all right, would remedy a lot of stuff, like all your phosphorus, nitrogen, and bullshit coming off your lawns and stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, how would it remedy that? I mean, if
Because
stuff's,
we'd be running across your lawn going to the lake.
oh, you're saying,
your lawn is
if it
clo- yeah,
comes,
yeah.
You
if
know what I
it
mean?
comes off your roof and it goes underground
Right
into
into a
the,
drain.
yes, that, I totally agree with you.
But we don't allow it.
Well, maybe we should,
But we allow the garage with a footing drain to go into a catch basin and into the lake.
well,
So, but in all honesty, the cleanest water you can get, is rainwater
right.
and your subterranean water, all right? We have now gone to the point of letting people run the water with those drains to a stone reserve behind the seawall, where it brings the temperature down and then goes out through weep holes into the lake. What we should address collecting that water, and the reason I'm saying that is there are a lot of homes with awful green grass.
Right, and on
what I mean?
slopes, and sloping properties.
sloping towards the
So
lake.
all of that nitrogen and phosphorus is going into the lake.
Unless you let them use a non-phosphorus grass fertilizer.
That's been put out
I know.
so many
Yeah,
times, but you can't.
but Deep says it doesn't make a difference, it still puts nutrients into the lake that the bacteria likes. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
whether they're not exactly nitrogen, they're
Exactly.
close enough to nitrogen
Other
that it
states
does.
do it.
It's close enough that yeah. But I think Gary makes a good point, right? Because at least all of that water off the roof, all that water coming down from the gutters isn't hitting the green grass and bringing all the nutrients down into the lake. You're saying if there's a pipe, it goes underground, even if it's a perforated pipe, right? So it percolates into the
You could do it a number
ground.
of ways, Marion. You could turn around, come down, grab your leader drains and everything. You can go into, which we did with somebody else with an infiltrator.
Right.
Okay? That infiltrator comes up to a certain point in time, it's perking into the ground. If you have a small rain, it's not gonna come out of the infiltrator and go to your lake. But if it comes up to where the ground can't take it, it now comes out the pipe and goes to the lake directly. Nothing running across the yard.
So, Jeremy, if we wanted to make an adjustment to the ordinance so that we could approve systems like that, or in fact make them requirements, do we have to write it up and bring it to the Board of Selectmen?
No, because your regulations, are, you create those, and I don't think there's anything in there that says you can't put your footing drains directly into the lake. I don't know what the process has
There
been.
isn't. We
There
go
isn't.
by
You,
that.
yeah. So, and I would agree with Gary. I think footing drains directly into the lake, it's clean and it's cold.
Right.
And my experience has always been the footing drains can go right to the lake. That's not an issue. Roof drains, I would probably want to think about that a little bit more, because that potentially you've got stuff in the gutters, it's asphalt roof, it's, it's warmer, it's, all of that kind of
Right,
stuff. So
that's
that
good.
should probably be infiltrated. But it's more about using the zoning regulations and the requirements that are in there in terms of impervious to be able to work with somebody and say, okay, we're not going to accept, or even we could put something in your regs that say, no more runoff. Well, and actually the state requires it anyway with the stormwater management guidelines. You can't have a net increase in your runoff off of the property. So that's where you get into the infiltration stuff.
Right.
But a footing drain, it's really not runoff, because that's in the ground. You're intercepting it when you put that footing in, so you're just giving it an outlet. So.
I would say that if over the next 6 months or so, we bring this up for every situation we have with an engineered plan, the engineers will just start doing it.
They're gonna run with it. They're doing it in other communities anyway.
They'll do what we ask them to. We say, we'd like to see it this way. Next time they'll come in, they'll have it done.
Yeah.
So I think we can just do that within.
And we can talk about it at
in-house.
the acceptance level, so that they have the time before the approval meeting to make the adjustment.
And we can do it in staff meetings, and we talk with them before they even get to you.
Yeah, I think that's.
Selectman Lemire has his hand up.
I've been trying real hard to not get involved in this, but me and Bill, out of all of everybody here, have huge experience with disasters in Norfolk. And we had the gas spill in Norfolk. So we worked closely with the DEP. It is illegal for any building or structure to go into the stormwater, the sewer, or anything, direct pipe, because if the contaminant comes from the house or from outside, it goes in the house. So it is totally illegal to tap that garage into the drainage.
Or if you have an oil tank in your house, let's loose, where's it gonna go? They would actually rather have it go into the ground than into a stream or a body of water.
And we found out the hard way, because
Yes.
somebody couldn't live in their house for 3 months, because it went right into their basement.
No, it ain't fun.
But how is what's in somebody's house connecting to what the footing drain is just infiltrating groundwater.
There's nothing watertight sealed for your basement. Anything can leak into the groundwater that goes into your footing drains. It can go through the seams, the cracks of the wall to the footing.
But then wouldn't that be true of the groundwater going across your lawn into the lake too?
It's like even if you have a sump pump in your house, that's not supposed to go into the drain, that's supposed to go out onto the ground.
I mean, running your gutters to the lake, the roof, that probably wouldn't be a problem, because how could that get contaminated? But out of your house, out of your basement, that's the no-no. And then you can check with it, if you don't believe us,
We're
then
not
check with
talking.
DEP.
Jeremy's making a note about it, so we can.
Her name was Deb, she retired.
She retired.
You guys would have much fun though.
Oh, it was a blast.
Oh, it was, 4 years of fun.
A month straight without.
All right, Jeff, you wanna keep
Yeah, I
going?
got two more things.
Go ahead.
Two more things quickly. They started paving the boat launch area where they put the culvert in today. They're gonna finish it tomorrow. And there's several crossover pipes that they're gonna replace. One being at the bottom of Bonds Lane and one around the 700 East Wakefield. I guess pipes that go under the road, crossover pipes, you call them. So they're gonna be replaced next couple of weeks,
Is
next
the
month or so.
700 one near Norcross, do you know? Because there's a lot of runoff from Norcross
He
into
said
the lake.
680, maybe,
East?
yes.
Oh, no, that's not at Norcross.
He said 700, then he said, it's 680, 660 or something like that. So it was around the 700. But those pipes are collapsed, so they're gonna put some new pipes. And that's it.
All right, Jeff, just from my perspective, and I'm sure the commission, I don't want Jim to look at this as we're micromanaging, but I think the more information he provides you, that you provide to the committee, the more confident we feel that the lake is being protected. And
My opinion, speaking with him, I think it's the top priority for him. That's just my opinion. Maybe he's blown smoke, but it just seems like that's important to him. I mean, he was on the Wetlands Commission.
Yeah, I mean,
prior
none
to
of us,
what he's
our
doing.
comments are not negative, they're just objective views or opinions or suggestions, objective, not subjective, of what we would like, or I would like, or you would like to see in place, that's all.
And that's
Good.
fine, we have a nice discussion then once a month.
Good, there you go. And let Jeff call next month. Mary Ann, Jamie, anything with Highland Lake?
No, there hasn't been a meeting since the last.
No, okay. Selectmen, anything to say?
I'm good, like I said, I'm here to learn from you guys.
Okay,
Appreciate all your work.
thank you.
All your hard work.
And the discussion on the dock and mooring, we did the breakboarding and buoys, we're waiting for a lot of information from the state on that, aren't we?
Right there, well, you know more than I do about that.
Well, all I know is that the state is doing a big, research project. I don't know what happened with all the comment. I mean, they're probably parsing through all the comments that they asked people to send in, right?
Well, I know one of the one of the shallower lakes, they put an ordinance on.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
Warlock for
Warlock
sure.
did, right?
Also.
And then a lot of people were looking at DEP to say, well, what? What I saw, I just saw a brief thing, I think in the Hartford Business Journal? When it was it's Hartford Business Journal. A lot of people were saying, well, everybody's looking at DEP for these, in a sense, recommendations or whatnot,
Answers.
but all the and then the counter to that was like, well, all the lakes are different. Some are really shallow, some are much wider,
That's
some
right.
are deeper. So some people were immediately kind of opposed to saying, well, if we it should be more of a case-by-case basis.
That's my view
But
of it,
maybe the DEP is gonna put out, or DEEP is gonna put out some general guidelines.
Yeah.
Do we have the authority to not allow wake boats in certain areas? Do we have the authority to do that?
It's
That's what I
DEP.
think.
That's DEP.
It's DEP. But,
And ordinances would have to do.
but I
with
think,
it.
I agree with that. Every lake is different. And, what the research is showing is that it's a twofold set of issues with the wakeboarding boats, right? There's the stirring up of the lake bottom and increasing the nutrient load in shallower waters is one issue. And the other issue is the dissipation, right? So that's why people are putting buoys everywhere, because it takes 500 to 600 feet in each direction for the wakeboard waves to dissipate. And so that's why people's docks are breaking and, so it's a twofold issue, and we have a narrow lake. So, if you look at the research and you just logically go down the path of what would you need to do to allow wakeboard boats to continue to enjoy themselves on our lake, but do it in a way that doesn't increase the nutrient load and doesn't threaten people's waterfront property, and it's put them in the middle of the lake in Third Bay. That's it.
I think it's a great idea to put them in Third Bay. I live in Third Bay, and I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna get, I don't know, adjustment on my taxes for the amount of damage I'm gonna have on my.
Well, I mean, it's like,
Does anybody,
but who's even gonna, it's not even, it's never gonna be enforced, that's the problem. Like, it's just, the town doesn't have the resources to enforce that.
has there
You
been
know what, if
any
there's an ordinance that says that, I'll be out there videoing them when they're 30 feet off my dock.
Okay, but I mean,
8-foot waves
are
over
you
my wall.
videoing the jet skiers that are zooming around at 70 miles an
Doesn't
hour
bother
on
me as
Sunday
much.
nights? Oh, it doesn't bother you?
They make a small wave. The wave's only this big.
So Matt built my dock
Because you're
10
not
years ago.
kayaking, Jeff.
Matt built my dock 10 years ago, and I asked him, will these two hinges hold on to this? And his response was, I never lost one yet.
Put me to the test.
I had to fix my dock this winter, so.
Yeah. We get 10 years.
Anyway.
You're out of warranty.
Hi, I don't think there's anything else on the agenda that I'm aware of unless I missed something. Guys, anything?
You're talking to DEP about the buoys and the markers. Did you have something to share on that?
Yeah, it was a while back. I mean, enforcement of that basically is, what she told us to contact their environmental conservation officer for the area. If we know of a buoy that's out there that shouldn't be there, we need to go through their ENCON officer, but they don't have a boat. So it's like, they would need to use our boat to get out there, is basically what it is.
Now with the lake, with the extent of the drawdown, You can almost see why some of the buoys are out there. I mean, some of the rocks are
Yeah.
way the hell up, really. You
Well,
know,
those are markers, that's different.
The only marker is.
we don't, I don't know what they,
Sucker
I don't see any difference in anything that's in the water. They all look
All I'm
the
saying
same
is
to
some
me.
people put those in to mark where rocks are, so
Right.
people's propellers don't get
Yeah.
damaged. But other people put them because they don't want the heavy wakes to come
How do we,
close to
how
them.
does a novice distinguish a marker from,
There is a code for buoys when you look at,
yeah, but again,
if you follow that, then it's simple. Because you know what color is for hazardous and what color is for direction.
Well, also, all buoys are supposed to be permitted.
Marion, I
So
have
we
a
had
question.
talked about this before, the DEP has the right to, or is responsible
Is it
for the
only right?
buoys that are navigational.
Right.
And we're responsible for the mooring buoys, so.
Correct.
To my knowledge, there's only one navigational buoy in the lake, it's Suckerbrook Cove.
Right, that one, yeah.
But the rest of them are all illegal.
There were
except
five,
for
there were
their-
5 permits out there.
Right.
We've
We
got
did
them, I couldn't tell you what they are offhand. I mean, the slalom course is one of those permits, and there were 4 others.
We gave that one woman a permit in front of,
But you mean permitted buoys that are
like
out beyond docks?
520 or
Yeah,
520?
yeah.
Yeah.
so.
So there are 5 permitted.
There are 5 that are
I
permitted.
mean, the fact is, you could probably walk around the lake now and see, because they have to have heavy, I mean,
Yeah,
most,
some kind of an anchor.
they have some kind of an anchor that's probably on the ground right now.
Well, if only 5 are permitted and we can get the conservation officer in and hitch a ride with the Marine Patrol.
Right, next summer.
All but those 5
Right.
to be looked at.
Right.
Right, that's a good
right.
point. That would be a good way
And
to
maybe
do
there's a
it.
valid reason, but then they need to get permitted.
Yeah,
And then we gotta figure out who they belong to.
Well,
And that's, some of them aren't gonna be hard, some of them probably will be.
yeah.
yeah.
Motion to adjourn?
If you cut the buoy,
Just cut it off.
buoy off, we'll find who we want.
I have one more question.
Any other, go ahead.
I have one more question. Our police boat, now, we have ordinances, we have rules, we have regulations, 22-foot boat max length. You are supposed to be 200 feet from the shoreline, even water skiing, whatever. Has anybody followed up on how many summonses or tickets have been given out by our boat? That is, as far as I am concerned, and living on the lake and stuff like that.
Tickets or warnings.
Tickets, warnings, any, because all I do, when I came to a couple of meetings, right, it was raining out, and the boat was going out, and there wasn't a soul on the lake. So to me, it looks like they're sucking up overtime. That's exactly what it looks like to me.
So should we
Because
ask,
it's a free, I was told point blank that it's a free, open book to grab whatever time you can grab at the lake. Okay? Now, you know, when you really look at it, and I don't know how the town's program goes, but when I was police commissioner in Suffield, every bit of time, whether it was overtime or anything, went towards your retirement. Okay? So if you're sucking up time there just to get retirement, and you're not doing anything for us, we have a problem. Because what are you gonna do when you turn around and you say, okay, we're gonna let the wakeboard boats go, all right? You have to be down the center of the lake, and who's gonna enforce this? We don't have anybody enforcing anything.
right, that's my point. I don't think there is much enforcement. So, I don't know, how do we find that out? Do we ask the town manager to ask the police chief?
Yeah, we can ask
To
for
me-
something.
Definitely get you the list of violations. I know, in prior years, nobody was even signed up for it. All of a sudden, this year, everybody signed up for it. They all took the course. I seen them pull over a couple boats myself while I was out there fishing. But this year was the most action that boat ever got.
Right.
I,
Also have the most
But
violations.
Troy, a lot of times the boat is out there and there's not a soul on it.
Understood, I seen that too.
I think, my opinion, the lake should be a regular patrol schedule. So if, like Jim has people.
Not overtime.
Like Jim has people who, there's one guy who plows the lake. That's his area of plowing. He doesn't plow Main Street or up behind the churches or anything, he plows the lake. I think an assignment should be, and it doesn't have to be the same officer every time, but it should be a regular routine assignment. This is your
The
area for
beat,
today.
the lake beat,
Well,
Yeah, like a beat.
yeah.
when the new
Yeah, everybody's gonna
When
want
the new what?
when the new police chief came on, like 2 years ago, he was at one of the selectmen meetings, he got introduced, and I brought up, I says, why not just have, because he finally got the full staffing. I says, you don't have to schedule. You could tell the guy, this morning you're in the car, after lunch, you're in the boat for 4 hours. That's all. Just break up your time, not on overtime, regular shift that we're paying for, and just split it up. I don't wanna know when he's out there. I want him out there, but I don't wanna know at 2 o'clock on Saturday afternoon to 2 to 4, he's only there. Everybody's gonna know that, you know, this year you said, we saw more of the boat on there. This is the first time in this year. I mean, so, to me, it doesn't matter when he's on there, as long as he's out there.
Can I bring up something and then we'll close the meeting
Well,
to
I
think
have
about?
one more question.
Go ahead, then I'll go.
Okay. Gary actually brought this up to me. We haven't talked about it in this forum yet, but Highland Lake gets a lot of action, right?
What about Winchester
You're
Lake?
around the lake a lot, there are a lot.
Knew how to bring it.
But who's driving around Winchester Lake? Who's looking at what's happening at the Still River? There's a lot of stuff going on right along the Still River. Who's looking at what's going on the Mad River that starts all the way up on Grantville Road, or it actually goes beyond Grantville Road? Like, that stuff doesn't seem like it gets a lot of attention, and it does seem like it's probably worth a schedule of, like, you know, every now and again, maybe once a month, driving around those areas as well, because all the wetlands need protecting. Yes, Highland Lake is really super important for a lot of reasons we all know, but it does seem like the other ones are, maybe stuff's going under the radar.
The applications are about Highland Lake.
Yeah, exactly.
They're only Highland. We need a
maybe
commission
break
member
it
for
up.
each lake.
Yeah.
I don't know, I think it's valid, you brought that point, you brought up last time, like maybe we
need
break
more
it
people
up
working
as
in this
commissioners.
building.
Just one last comment.
And look at an area a little more closer, there's not that much square footage.
Yeah, we
to
could do
cover.
it, we could take it on, sure. We could
Yeah.
drive around, so it's not all on you. All right, Russ.
Gotta be careful
Russ is gonna put the drive around schedule.
Just one last comment. We have a liaison between this committee and the selectmen, or the selectmen has a liaison to the committee. We have it with Public Works, we have it with Highland Lake. Do we want one or think about one with the police department?
I don't know.
Just think about it. We don't need an answer now, of course, the lake is not gonna be, patrolled until April or May or June, so
You
kick it
sure?
around in your head.
You sure
and
about
thi-
that?
What?
You sure about that? They
Yeah.
still want their overtime.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Jeff made a motion a while back.
I'll second it.
second, there you go.
I second Jeff's earlier
All right,
motion.
happy Thanksgiving to everyone, families, safe travels.
Mary Ann, the chief of the police department are invited to the super water meeting next month.
Okay, great.
Just so they need to be involved in this
Great,
too.
great.
Star Commission?
No, to the extra special meeting that
The
we're
water
putting together.
super group.
Yeah.
You got time?
It's up to you. It's 8:45.
Well, I'll tell you what I need. Hey, thanks for loaning me your chair, I appreciate it.
I hope you left it in as good condition as it is when
I think I didn't eat anything in it, so it should be all right. I didn't drop any
I'm not gonna
crumbs.
say anything. I had some fruit.
Yeah, I know where you're going with that.
Nah,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not gonna say
yeah.
that.
Have a good
Don't worry
Thanksgiving.
about it, you too, Mary.
Good night, have a good Thanksgiving. Did you get my note? I did. Okay. I hope you take it to work.
Yes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So you can see.
All right, ladies, have a good Thanksgiving. Safe travels.
There, the stones down, fresh marks on it. Yeah, exactly.
That's only like 3.5, 3:20. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. But it was the kids' first time on the plane. 2 years old to 5. Yeah, they are.
Yes. Paul was okay, Paul talked. Well, Paul, had.
Nobody said he was absent, or nobody said he was.
Yeah, he was excused, absent. He knew he was.
Oh, okay.
So. Yeah. Yeah. I was taking them, and then these two guys are screaming. And Mario's, and it just deflated.
And I was saying, when I get wrong about this, go on.
Because there's no, if you go back to the chart, there's no rule on here that says the person with the most, two people that get the most votes are mayor and seconds.
But I just don't pull out my side years, what you, like security, and clerk, and what we need.
Well, that's what I brought up at public comment, you have left on the charter.
Okay, that's what I'm
And
saying.
that's gonna be on the agenda
Okay,
next
no, no,
meeting,
I'm just
just
saying.
the charter change. Because that was already talked about, I talked to Paul about that, Marino. I don't talk to him too much anymore, but I do talk to him once every couple of
We
weeks.
have the board, to waste this time, argue,
Well, that's what's happening.
one day we could.
We didn't even make it to the whole night. We didn't even do it, man.
This next point, I get a sort of like they walk that thing with the guy who's a security. I went downstairs and he said, I'm at home. I said, I don't know what this is, but don't send those things out.
So people just thought, oh, shut up. He's gonna shut up.
There's other people, Democrat and Republican, are the same.
It's like, why, what's the point?
It's not.
You know, what was, what's any point? Even 2 years ago, what was the point? Doesn't make it.
I mean, the other than what might be there, I would see. If it's weeks, you feeling power, you got power.
Well, that's the other. Some of those guys, their heads just have this.
Doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. There's, it kind of showed that this time around, what really works and what doesn't. What doesn't work, you know, it's just, what doesn't work, you know, just say,
When I saw him leave that, when I saw him run that,
Right. Right outside his office.
Well, she said.
This is like little kids.
Okay.
200 feet.
Some places